Howdy! My name's Cassie Joy Garcia, and I am so excited to be here with you today to show you how Cook Once, Eat All Week works. Getting dinner, a healthy homemade dinner on the table, it shouldn't be this hard. And so we came up with this process where we take the principles of cooking in bulk and combined it with meal prep. It's absolutely going to change your life. It's changed hundreds of lives, thousands of lives already, from folks who found it on fedandfit.com to the book Cook Once, Eat All Week, which hit shelves this spring. So it is a pork shoulder, kale, and sweet potato week. It's one of my absolute favorites. The flavors are mega. And what we do is on your prep day, and we're shooting for an hour of active time in the kitchen on prep day, we're going to cook the pork shoulder in the Instant Pot, the slow cooker, or the oven. We're going to prepare the kale. One head of kale we're gonna saute, and the other head we're just gonna go ahead and prep and shred and get it set up for a nice slaw that we're gonna use. And then the sweet potatoes are super easy. We're gonna bake all of them, about 3 pounds of sweet potato. Half of them get made into a sweet potato mash with some light seasonings, and the other half we're just gonna set aside for some stuffed sweet potatoes later in the week. When it comes time to get dinner on the table, all you do is you pull out your already cooked, prepped components, and you're going to assemble them into 3 totally different dinners. One dinner we're making is going to be this honey garlic pork skillet. It's delicious. I can't wait to dig into this one. And we take this shredded pork and we head on over to the stove. Get a nice skillet. I like to use cast iron for pork, and put it over a nice medium to high flame. Sprinkle some oil right in there. You can use olive oil, avocado oil, and then go ahead and put some minced garlic, toss it around, and then let it sit until you can really smell the garlic. When they say, you know, cook it till the aromas release, that's what we're talking about, until you can smell it and it starts to turn a little bit brown. Then you're going to go ahead and add 1/3 of the shredded pork. Pat that into the pan, press it down, and then let it sit there. Try not to stir it, because the magic of pork is that if you let it sit undisturbed, you're gonna be able to crisp it on the bottom, which is really gonna make this dish so much better. Once the pork is crisp, after 2 to 3 minutes, give it a flip, and then pour your sauce over top of it. This honey garlic sauce, I quickly whipped up on prep day. It took about 2 minutes to pull together. We have coconut aminos, we've got honey, some apple cider vinegar, a little bit of sesame oil, and some red pepper flakes, and that's it. So simple. Toss it around, make sure the pork gets in all the yummy flavors, and then let it cook through. Some of the water is going to evaporate off, and you're gonna be left with the most delicious pork ever. So all I'm going to do is spoon some of this white rice, which I reheated on the stove in just a simple pot, into this little bowl. And then our honey garlic pork goes over top. I'm gonna show you how to make 2 of these bowls right now. And then to finish it off, if you want, you can add a little sriracha, whatever your flavor is. I like to add just a little pinch of red pepper flakes. And then this dish is done. Done, dinner number 1 is served. Took about 10 minutes to pull together and bring alive again. All right, the next dinner we're making is this sweet potato tamale pie. It is a total crowd pleaser, and it's straight from my Garcia roots. I'm so excited to bring it to you. So what we've got here is this shredded pork, again, another 1/3 of that pork, to which we're going to add a head of kale that we chopped and sauteed very lightly on our prep day. So give that a little stir in there. We're gonna add in a whole can of tomato paste. And then to that, we're going to also add a tablespoon of chili powder. This is where we're really gonna get that tamale flavor. 2 teaspoons of oregano, and then 1 teaspoon of cumin. The last thing that goes into this mix for the meat is the juice of 1 lime. I like to use fresh lime juice whenever possible. And then once that's all in there, just stir it up nicely until everything is evenly coated and you have a very even, consistent texture. So this is gonna go into our casserole pan. Once you get it in there, just spread it out evenly as the bottom layer. And then the crust for this sweet potato tamale pie is, of course, sweet potatoes. We roasted those sweet potatoes, the whole batch of them, and we took half and turned them into a really easy mash. We've just got some very basic ingredients here, a little cumin to help give it a little bit of a nice Mexican flavor. So once everything's assembled, it goes into the oven, 350 degrees for about 30 minutes, and then you're ready to garnish it and serve. Okay, our sweet potato tamale pie is out of the oven. The very last step to finish this off after it's nice and piping hot, I like to put a generous scoop of sour cream, yum, right there on top. And then we're gonna put some fresh avocado just to really bring it all together. And then dinner's done. Okay, the third and final dish we're making are these jerk stuffed sweet potatoes. Oh my gosh, they are so good. I think my favorite part is the kale slaw. It's so delicious. So we start off with some shredded fresh kale. To this, we're going to add an entire mango. Pour that right in. It's got a nice dice, to which we add some chopped cilantro. And then we have some diced fresh jalapenos, a couple tablespoons worth. We have the juice of a whole lime. I like to add a really generous amount of olive oil. It really helps hold all the flavors together, adds a nice macro punch of fat to the recipe. And then a pinch or two of sea salt. And this slaw will actually go on top of our loaded stuffed potatoes. To assemble these potatoes, we've pre-baked them, so all you have to do is put them back on a sheet pan and stick them back in the oven to warm them back through. And then after they come out, I slice them right down the middle so that we can spread them apart and stuff them with all of our yummy fillings. All we need is a third of that shredded pork that we made on prep day, a nice hot skillet, and we're gonna pour in our cooking oil and then put the pork right in on top. Cold out of the fridge, it doesn't matter. We're also going to add a generous amount of jerk seasoning and give it a nice toss. Then after a couple minutes, you can flip it over, make sure you've got some nice brown pieces on it. And once it's heated through and a little bit crispy, take it off the heat because it's done. Back to assembling. So what goes in first is our pork. We're gonna do a generous scoop of this delicious crispy jerk pork. Goes right into that potato. Stuff it right down in there. And then we put our zesty mango slaw over top of that. The mango and the lime juice and a little bit of the pepper, the heat from that jalapeno really help bring out the flavors in that jerk seasoning. So that's it, that's dinner number 3. I hope you enjoyed this demo of week 22 from Cook Once, Eat All Week. You can find more about this brand new way to meal prep at fedandfit.com. You can also find Cook Once, Eat All Week, the book, everywhere books are sold.